hear me, at least a little bit. Oh my, I can't believe this happened. Let me know if you can hear me. Hi, Moto Scout. Hello. Oh, can you hear me now? Maybe, possibly. Hi, Michael. Thank you for making it over. Hi, Pete. Hello. You can hear me. Okay. Thank goodness I have the tablet, I guess, as backup. Wow, I've never had that many audio issues ever, you guys. Hello. Hello. Oh, all these beautiful. Thank you so much for making it over here. I'm so sorry that was so confusing. Oh my gosh. I don't know what happened. It kind of looks like one of my like audio in drivers on my computer just decided to die. It was a wonderful time. Hello, Pierre. Hello. Scott's here. Hi. Hello. Audio is clear. Okay, good. Okay. Well, not exactly how I planned for this to go, but that seems to be the way of things, isn't it? In the spirit of my channel, I should say. Funville set. Yes, yes, we're all along for the ride. Hi, from Ohio. That's so cool. Hi, Coffee Guy. Hello. Yes, adventure is what happens when things go wrong. Absolutely. Yes. Not that I think that anybody who doesn't know me would have made it here, but for those who don't know, my name is Amanda Zitto. I make motorcycle travel vlogs, how-tos, and general encouragement for you to get out and do the thing. And we had a wonderful little technical issue, so we're on the tablet now. Hello, Paul. Red Horse Garage. David's here. Does this qualify as an adventure? I think that yes, absolutely. Or at least the biggest adventure that I've had in like the last 2 months, that's for sure. Okay, now that I've sat down and figured I'm gonna have some tea. Heck of a thing to do to try to figure out technical issues when your stomach hurts. Oh my god, you're slipping. I'm sorry. Hi! Yay! Yes, tea. I'm sorry, it's not whiskey, Scott. I'm still not feeling super great. I just got over a massive allergic reaction, you guys. It was insane. I had hives all over my body for like a week. I've never had an allergic reaction like that before. So that was super fun. And I've been having some tummy pain for like 2 months. I am seeing a doctor. For all those who keep reaching out to me to be like, go see a doctor. I am seeing a doctor. We're figuring it out. It's just taking a little bit longer than I thought that it would. Hello from Dallas, Texas. Awesome. NYC. Oh, this is so lovely. Yay. Awesome. Alberta. So cool. Hello. Hello. Moto Blonde is here. Petty Nerd is here. You have crazy allergies, so you understand. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've never had an allergic reaction like that before. So if you ever use 303 multi-purpose cleaner, just know it's some nasty stuff. That's for sure. I was wearing gloves even, but evidently it must have gotten in my hair or something. Was I washing my car? Was allergic reaction to driving car? No, I was trying to clean parts of my truck camper, and there's some nasty gunk on the canvas in some spots, and I was trying to remove it, and that's how I got the allergic reaction, because the cleaner that I was using was pretty nasty, and my skin did not appreciate it. West Virginia, hello! Not to worry, I'm bouncing back from the flu, so no whiskey here either. Okay, Scott, that does make me feel a little bit better. Is Bernie gonna show up in the background? I'm not that advanced. I wish that I was. Temp today in Australia, where I live, got to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh my gosh. It's really cold here. I barely survived going out to the garage to get my chair, so. What kind of truck do I have? I have a Ford F-150. I think he's a 2000. And I got gifted a NorthernLite light truck camper. So it's a pop-up. So it's just it just fits on the back of the F-150. And so far, Bubba has been loving having the weight in the back. He's been running better than ever. So that's super cool. The the truck camper was gifted to me by one of my other moms. I have lots of moms. And she got a hard side so she could go to Yellowstone more often and enjoy the luxury of having a hard-sided truck camper. So she gifted me the pop-up, and it's been wonderful getting it, being a very small, slow project for me while I can't really ride or do other things. And I mean slow. I can only do a few things a day right now. Hello. Oh, hello, Lisa. Hello. Hi, Critter. Bracing for the snow here in Western Canada. Yeah. I don't know if we'll see any snow here in Portland. Knock on wood, it is the end of January. Normally, if we were going to get snow, we would have gotten it by now. Down in the valley, I should say. Mount Hood's definitely been getting it this season. I'm buying an adventure bike because of you. Oh, Jimmy, that's so cool. Moto Scout's going to go to Bonneville and Arches National Park this week. Oh, that's going to be beautiful. Utah still gets really cold at night, Moto Scout, so make sure that you're prepared for that if you're going to try to go camping. I broke out in hives last time I rode a Harley. Pierre, that's not nice. It was in the 80s here in Southern California a few days ago. We're just now finally getting rain. Oh, I'm glad that you're getting some rain. That's good. Anyway, shall we talk about 2021 plans, you guys? Shall we talk about that? I'm going to Rimmer because of you. Oh, yay! Speaking of 2021 plans, Rocky Mountain Roll. That's very exciting. This will be our 6th year, you guys. That's so crazy. For those who don't know what Rocky Mountain Roll is, myself and my mother and my father and brother Gary host a motorcycle campout event, very bare bones, on our family's ranch in Corvallis, Montana. And it's the first week of August this year. And it's a really good time. There's no bands to keep you up at night. We don't have a merch row or anything like that. No people trying to sell you stuff. We do offer like some stickers and t-shirts and stuff if you want to get that with Rocky Mountain Roll merch on it. But for the most part, it's just a bunch of people who rode a long way to get there too. And we all set up in a cow pasture. There are shovels to move the poo so that you can set up your tent. Tickets are on sale. Early bird tickets are no longer on sale, but regular tickets will be on sale until July 15th. I think regular tickets are $50, so cheaper than a 2-night stay at KOA, and it's 4 days now, so it's actually 3 nights. Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. Saturday morning, we all go to farmer's market. It's always a good time, and then you get to go do your thing, and Saturday evening, we do the raffle, we hang out. We also do free pizza while supplies last on Saturday night. I take everybody's votes when they check in, so we try to get all the flavors that everybody kind of agrees on. And that pizza is from Kodiak Jack's in Hamilton, and they're a small local family-owned business, so we love supporting them. And then Sunday morning, not necessarily morning, probably mid afternoon, we all go up to Missoula to Montgomery Distillery to go to the Spirits and Spoke show, which is a neat motorcycle show with a bunch of Montana builders, hosted in a whiskey distillery. I'm friends with Ryan, the owner of Montgomery Distillery, and he's super awesome and supports Rocky Mountain Roll every single year. But yeah, and we cap the attendees at 100 people, so it always feels super low-key. You never feel like you're in a big crowd or anything like that. Sorry, lost track of the chat here. Woot! Yeah, it's very exciting. Planning a trip to Glacier, that's awesome. Woot! Have I ever thought about doing an iron butt? Yes, Scott. I did do 900 miles in a day following Carrie Babes Right Out in 2019. I tried to do 1,000 miles in a day on the Fly the Magpie, but I was just too exhausted at that point to make it. I did make it 700 miles, and I've determined that if I'm going to try it again and like do a good try for it, I'm going to have to convince Carrie to go in front of me because I do a better job when I'm trying to follow her. But I have a feeling she might not have a problem with it. I don't want to put words in her mouth. I'm sorry you won't be able to make it to Rocky Mountain Roll, Critter. I hope I'm keeping my fingers crossed that, like, you know, next year borders will open and we'll get to see our Canadian friends again. Plan to go to Newfoundland. That's super cool. Oh, Jess is here. Hi, Sound Mind Adventures. Oh, if you guys don't watch Sound Mind Adventures, she also has a CB500X, and she's just so lovely. She goes into the deeper side of riding. 2021 plans on doing Arkansas and Missouri Ozarks. Oh, that's going to be gorgeous. What the max amount of people at Rocky Mountain Roll? 100 people. That's cap. Most we've ever had is 75. Yeah, because even if we sell 100 tickets, but most of the time people like change plans and that kind of stuff. So I don't want to say we'll probably never get actually like 100 people at the event, but that's just kind of I've been running events for like the last 5-6 years at this point, and normally you can expect about half of the amount of people who purchase tickets to actually show up, and that's been about right, except for that second year when we had 75 people. Most of the time we end up with about 50. 2021, I'm hoping to ride down to Tierra del Fuego. Ooh, that's exciting. Hit all the states on the East Coast. Yeah, Scott, that's awesome. Hi, Roy. This year, hoping to do the North Coast 500. Ooh, that's going to be super cool. Hi from England. Couldn't sleep, so I thought I'd join. Well, welcome. I'm glad that I can entertain. Still in lockdown. Oh, man, you guys, I'm sending you strength. Hello. Hi. I'm saying hi, but I realize you don't know who I'm saying hi to. Same names, Amanda. Oh, messing me about your crazy super chat. Oh my god, did I miss a crazy super chat? I'm sorry, petty nerd. I'm so not used to the interface on the mobile. Maybe I should open it on my phone too, just so I can see what's going on. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed it. Awesome. Oh, petty nerd. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh no. Have you ever done the driftless area around southwest Wisconsin or along the Mississippi? I have not. I did ride in Wisconsin oh my god, it's not this year anymore. It's 2021. Oh my goodness. In 2020, I rode along in Wisconsin. Oh, you hit it. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll try to catch up with you, petty nerd. I don't know how to undo those things. Oh, my mom's here. Yay! Just realized I didn't hit send. Everybody say hello to Mama Zitto. It was amazing, peaceful, relaxing. Took advantage of the outdoor shower, looking up at the stars. Yeah, we do have a little bag shower at Rocky Mountain Roll. Last year we upgraded, and Dad pulled out an actual shower stall with a bathtub in it to put the hanging shower in. A little bit of an upgrade from I think the year before that we had stacked up the hay stacker to hang the bag with a little pop-up privacy screen. I was fallen in love with the CB500X and I'm strongly considering as my next new bike. What are your thoughts, impressions of the bike since your loop around the United States? It's so solid. That bike I feel is forever underestimated by people. I got a couple comments the other day. It's You did that on a 500? Are you nuts? Do you just like enjoy going slow or something? And I had zero issues with that bike. As most of you know, I rode the freeway most of the time. If I had an issue getting up to speed, I wouldn't have been on the freeway. um yeah, super solid bike, always super reliable. Like all of like my very minute issues that I've had with it over the years, because I've had it since brand new in 2016, have been my own fault. Like I smashed in the radiator, I had to replace that. I did that one myself, with the help of my dad to get it off, but I put it all back together myself. Um, I think I may have toasted the clutch just a little bit. Not like the Tiger. The Tiger is like a whole other thing. That thing was just like burnt to a crisp. But tried to replace the levers with a gentleman at the old shop that I used to work at, and we didn't adjust them properly. And I was halfway to Montana before I realized they weren't adjusted properly, so my clutch wasn't properly disengaging. So it might be just a little bit toasty. It's probably overdue for a new clutch, but despite that, the bike ran beautifully. I have zero complaints about it. I think it's fantastic, and did everything that I asked it to do. I think like if I was ever going to nitpick on something on the CB, it's like the fact that the suspension is like so short. So doing off-road stuff, you kind of have to be a little bit more cautious, because the when you hit speed bump, like if you hit like a oh my god, words are cool, a pothole on a Forest Service road, if you had like a bigger tire on the front, like a 19-inch, which I'm more accustomed to because of the Tiger, but since the Honda has a 17-inch wheel and the stock suspension is so shallow, I can't think of a better word to describe it. If you hit something going like 30 or something and you hit that pothole, the whole thing bottoms out, and I have bent the front rim on the Honda. But those are things that like the 2019 model addressed, so it's kind of hard to complain about that. I watched you on YouTube for a long time. Good to say hi, Randolph. Your area, Portland, is still safe. We see the news back here on the East Coast. Yeah, for the most part, it's still safe. There have been a lot of cases of COVID at my work, but I have been home trying to deal with my health problems. So thankfully, I haven't been super exposed. Clackamas County has seen a rise in cases, but I have been home, so I'm pretty darn safe right now. How can I buy tickets to Rocky Mountain Roll? I'm sorry if I missed it. We would love to ride out from upstate New York. That would be so awesome, Lisa. If you go to As the Magpie Flies.com, there's a little tab for Rocky Mountain Roll, or you can go to rockymtnroll.com, and that will direct you straight to that page. And there is a bunch of information about the event, a bunch of photos of the event to give you kind of a feeling of what it'll kind of look like, and there will be a link to buy tickets on Eventbrite on that page. Hi, Bill. Motorcycle swap meet. Hi, Jeff. Hello. Hi, Roy. Everybody saying hello to Mom makes me so happy. Have you ever had to worry about not finding a place to sleep? From Michael. Not really. I mean, like, let me rephrase this. I normally will find a place to lay my head. I'm not super worried about that. I've never had to like spend an extra like 3 or 4 hours at night trying to ride somewhere where I can sleep. I either like I plan ahead and I mark on my map a ton of different places that I can camp. I also use like a bunch of different apps like freecampsite.net and iOverlander, and I check National Forest websites for campgrounds on there, that kind of stuff. And if I can't, if my original plan and backups don't work out and I fail to find someplace that would suit my needs on any of those apps, then I just get a hotel. And hotels like the US is like so set up to support like road trips, and with hotels it's really hard to like roll up in a place and not be able to find a hotel that has a room, unless you roll up in a place and there's like an event happening. yeah, that's my my best answer for you. Where are you in your tent? I'm in my office. But I've done a very good job of disguising it, don't you think? Can't go far wrong with a Honda. It's very true. Mr. and Mrs. Two-Wheeler, hello! Hoping to get to Dead Horse this year. Had to cancel in 2020. I hope you do make it there. I'm keep my fingers crossed for you. Jess agrees. I love the CB500X so much more after the first long road trip. For sure. I feel like once you ride that bike for like a good 500 miles, like on a trip, not necessarily like around town 500 miles, you kind of realize that like the legs on that bike are so good. I'm just, yeah. Tegan, hello from the East Coast. Hi. Me and my kids are right. Hello. Would like to trade my trade my NX 400 for a CB500, but the CB is $17,000 here. Woo! Wow. I think when we got mine, it was like $6,000 or something. I remember specifically it was like half the cost of the Africa Twin, because the Africa Twin, when I was looking, was like $12,000, and that was like one of the first generations of the Africa Twin. And the CB was like half the price, and you know, half the CC, so it just kind of worked out. So you're all cute. After totaling our SUV and getting a new replacement, my work is cut out for me to have it all ready to fly by August. I'll keep my fingers crossed for you, Dennis. I believe in you. You can do it. Thanks for the insight. The videos really showed that bike's capabilities above and beyond. For sure. Yeah. Briarios is a beast. Yeah. We met so many awesome people at last year's event and can hardly wait to repeat it again. Yay, Dennis! I'm so. It just makes me happy to hear that. Really, the vibe every year is kind of different because the people every year are kind of different. We do have a handful of lifers that come every single year, and if they can't make it one year, like they still buy a ticket so they can call themselves lifers. But yeah, I feel like the vibe changes just a little bit every year, but it's always really chill and relaxed, and like I think keeping the group size so small means that like it's hard to form a clique, you know? You kind of end up talking to just about everybody. Vincent, when you first started riding, did you have any big fears? I took the riding course in Montana in October of like 2012, I think. And I think taking the riding course, I was really scared because like not of the travel on the bike. That was the whole point of me learning to ride, was to travel back and forth from Montana to Portland and back. Well, from Portland to Montana and back, because I was going to school in Portland at that point. I guess my main fears with learning to ride the bike was like I didn't want to whiskey throttle. I didn't want to like accidentally like twist the throttle so hard that it booked me. That was my main fear. I didn't want to end up in a ditch somewhere. But after the riding course, that like pretty much assuaged like all of my main fears of riding the bike. I think the like MSF course like did such a fantastic job of like step by step going through and like making sure you had the knowledge of how the bike works in the most simplest way possible. And like the way that they taught us, like you started like on the bike with your feet down, you kind of like power walked it, so you could get accustomed to like where the pull point on the throttle was and that kind of stuff. And that was super helpful to like calming my fear about whiskey throttling, being like, oh, okay, this is where the point is and that kind of stuff. And it's a lot harder to whiskey throttle than I thought it was. You know, I don't know if everybody else experienced this, but like when you are getting into it and you're like, oh, I'm gonna learn to ride, and you like Google motorcycles, like some of the first things that pops up is like crash compilations, and I think that's awful. But yeah, I think that was my main fear, and then that was pretty much assuaged when I first started after the MSF course. And then after that, because I started on such old bikes, then my main fears were just about breaking down, and I overcame overcame that by learning how it works and working on it myself because I couldn't afford to pay anybody else to work on it. And chilly here in Portland. Yes, it is pretty cold. Zachary, are you back to 100% now, or are you still under the weather? I am still sick, unfortunately. Yeah, my stomach's pretty upset at the moment, but I'm here with you guys. I'm doing my best. I'm definitely, I've gotten over the hives, which is super great. The allergic reaction is over. That was like a whole mess. I was pretty much like not useful to the world for 5 days because of those hives. But it sounds weird to say that I'm grateful just to be back to dealing with the stomach pain and and not hives and stomach pain. That was a nightmare. Jeff Kohler, are you saying your tent is your office? No, I'm not saying that. My office is a corner of our house here in Portland, Oregon, and I like setting up the tent as my backdrop for live stream because I feel like that's so much more appropriate and not necessarily interesting to look at, but a better background for me than the bookshelves that are actually behind me that are just a mess. Mr. and Mrs. Tuller, when will you come down to Florida? I do not know. It's probably not in the cards for 2021. That's that part I know. Are you gonna get an Africa twin? Probably not anytime soon. I got rid of the tiger specifically so that I could work on other debt. Because I had a loan on the tiger and it didn't make financial sense for me to continue to pay on that loan when I have other bikes that are perfectly fine and are paid off. And like I have the Honda Shadow, and I have the CB500x, and I have Lazarus, and I have a moped, and I have a Project CB175. It just doesn't make sense for me to get another bike. So I sold the Tiger to my good dear friend Dodger, who's been taking care of Astraeus much better than I could ever do, and making sure that Astraeus is stretching his legs constantly. Pay Nerd sent you a bunch of messages. Awesome. I will check them soon. David, as I have said many times, CB500X suits you. My first bike was a Honda 125. I took it on a state trip in New York in the 20. That's so cool. Thank you for all your great blogs. And oh, thank you, John. I really appreciate that. Hi, Donna. Love my Wolfman luggage tank bag. Mate, yes. Oh my God, you guys. The Blackhawk tank bag was just, like the 2020 like upgrade so that it's waterproof was so awesome. Having the like getting the larger saddlebags too. Wolfman sent me the Rocky Mountain Expedition dry saddlebags for the Flight of the Magpie, and that extra space was just so awesome. If you watch the packing video, you know that I filled it up because that's what I do. But the Blackhawk tank bag is probably my favorite upgrade that they did for 2020 for the new lineup. Having a waterproof tank bag, like I didn't even know how much I was stressing about stuff in my tank bag getting wet, but that like all of that stress was just gone because I was like, waterproof tank bag, it's so perfect. You have over 150 people. Oh my gosh, you guys, what? Hello. Make sure that you hit that like button. Hi. It sounds like a great place to meet and make new friends. Definitely, Jeff. I would 100% say so. Rocky Mountain Roll is super chill. And like that's the way that I kind of made it that way. I took all the parts that I really enjoy about motorcycling events, like meeting all those new people and like those little groups that kind of form all over the place and getting to talk to people like that, and took out all the parts that I don't really enjoy, which is like the super loud music that goes really late into the night. So I can't sleep because I am an old lady who wants to be in bed by like 10 and 11, you know? And I took out the merch tents because like that was just, I'm like, it's fun to kind of see what other people are making, but like so much of the merch row and big events just kind of starts to feel scammy. I don't know. I just took all that stuff out, and I kept like the part that I do like, which is the ride to get to a place and the excuse to go to that place to meet a bunch of other people who also rode a long time to get there. And we try to keep it feeling as like down home as we can. Do you like the suspension on the CB500X? So you plan to change it? Do I plan to change it? If I had the money, I would absolutely change the suspension on the CB, especially because like the rally raid kit has, you have to upgrade the suspension to get the 19-inch front wheel, and that is mostly the reason I would upgrade the suspension, to get the 19-inch front wheel. It would make such a big difference. What about the guy on chips that got so scared that he froze? I don't know if I saw that. Am I camping right now? No, I'm sorry to disappoint you. Although that might be a cool live stream. Maybe this summer I'll try to find a spot that has like Wi-Fi and we can try to stream from camp. Who knows? So cool to see other YouTube motovloggers that I follow. Yes, it's so rad. I had started my MSF course last year and 5K miles on the FZ07. Do you have any advice for gravel? It terrifies me as a new rider, still with lots of country roads where I ride. Just like take it easy. It's so hard because my experience with gravel was like, I had no choice because like the road on our property in Montana is dirt and gravel, and when I started riding, like I was living with my grandpa, and his approach to anything is just do it, you know. You'll learn as you go. So I think when we finally got Lazarus running, I rode like a couple blocks around our house and at Grandpa's house. And then I would increase the blocks as I got more comfortable with the bike. And then finally, like I would go out to Kelly Point because I could get the bike up to 50 and get used to going at faster speed and coming back down. And part of the parking lot at Kelly Point has a lot of gravel on it. You kind of get used to like gravel being on pavement, and then I just get kind of antsy, so I would like go up Forest Service roads. And Forest Service roads are really good, like to learn up and below, depending on the Forest Service road. There are a lot of Forest Service roads in like Oregon and Montana that are more packed dirt than they are gravel. And packed dirt is like, I don't know, in my mind, packed dirt is a lot nicer to ride on than like a deep gravel road that's been re-graveled for loggers, because then it gets really deep and it's kind of squirrely. But I guess my tips would be just to like take it really slow, not so slow that you bury your front tire if the gravel gets deep, but you know, don't be too afraid of it. You know, dirt and gravel is a lot more forgiving when you drop the bike than pavement is. And also like don't try not to death grip the bars, because like the harder you grip on the bars, the more you're trying to control your front tire. If it's trying to like find its own line, the more likely you are to drop it. I'm not a trainer by any means, so take all these things with a grain of salt. I'm sure that like For the Love of Knobs would have a lot better tips for you. Him and Chris kind of do like some skills days every once in a while, so they have a little bit more experience of trying to explain how to do those things better than I can. Most of my experience is really just like go at it and learn as I go, so I am not trained by any means. I must like to do my live streams in my time. I do. Hello, Amanda from Maine. Hi, New England Moto. Hello. What did you eat that caused the stomach issues and the hives? The hives were caused by a cleaning chemical. I did not eat it. It was just a skin contact problem. And I don't know about the stomach issues. Still trying to figure that one out. That one is still a mystery. They thought that it was an ulcer. Well, right now they're assuming it's an ulcer, and we're just trying to figure out how best to address it so that it heals. Toby, I think that you're thinking of somebody else. I learned to work on my bike as I could not afford someone else. Now that I could, I don't trust anyone else. A few times I had to, I was not impressed. Yeah, Jeff, it's for real. I don't trust anybody else to work on Lazarus, period. Uh, yeah, the couple of times that I've let other people work on Lazarus, it has not gone well. So I work on Lazarus myself. So far, like with the Honda and the Tiger, though, like that's been okay because they're new enough that most people kind of get have an idea of how to work on them. But Lazarus, not so much. So you rode from Portland to Ohio to see her two wheels. I bet that was one hell of a road trip. I rode from Portland to Wisconsin, to Ohio, to North Carolina, to Georgia, to Colorado, and back to Portland. But I did see her two wheels. It was awesome. If you could ride anywhere in the world and rent any bike, where would you go and what would you want to ride? I think I've answered this question in other videos, but if money was not an object, like that didn't matter, I would go to China and I would rent whatever bike they had for me and I would ride in China. Because you have to have a oh my god, what is it called? You have to have a guide when you're in China. You can't ride all over by yourself. So that's why I'm like, if money was no object and I could go anywhere, I would go to China and I would pay to have the guide so that I could experience riding in China. I think it would just be so cool. Have you ever thought of riding one of those maxi scooters like the Bergman 400? I have not. It has not passed my mind. Jeff from Pennsylvania just thought I'd say hello and rode 150 miles a day in the cold. That's awesome. Hi from Australia. Hi, Patrick. I just sold my V-Strom as well. Now looking for a new bike. Well, I hope you find a new one that fits all of your needs, Patrick. The Honda Shadow is a solid bike. It is. It definitely is. I did like the first chunk of the pilgrimage where I went from Portland down to Moab, Utah, and then back up to Montana on the Honda Shadow. It's a fantastic bike, and I rode all over Oregon and back and forth from Portland to Montana on the Honda Shadow a lot before I started the YouTube channel. Have you planned a trip for this year yet? Oh, right, 2021 plans. We're already 37 minutes in, and I'm already distracted. Yes. So, first trip this year, barring any health issues, I will be going to Montana in April for my annual trip in the cold. And then hopefully, tentatively, these are all tentative plans, you guys. Nothing is solid besides Rocky Mountain Roll. Rocky Mountain Roll is happening. Tentative plans to do the Idaho BDR in June. Cross fingers. We don't know how far we'll get, but we've set aside about a week, and we'll see how far we get in a week. And then Rocky Mountain Roll happens in August, and I am setting aside some time in October, tentatively to see what Babes Right Out does, if they're gonna have an event this year or not. Yeah, those are my main plans. I do want to try to camp a little bit more in Oregon this year. I do want to get down to the Alvord. Those are goals. But yeah, those are very vague goals. So far, really like the trip home in April, the Idaho BDR, Rocky Mountain Roll, maybe Babes Right Out if it happens. Who knows? Would a Suzuki Hayabusa make it to the Rocky Mountain Roll that you host? Absolutely. If you are afraid to ride it on dirt, just know that the driveway from Hamilton Heights, the driveway from the main road to the property is dirt. And then there is no paved road on the property. So you have to ride across grass to get into the field. But like people on big baggers ride to Rocky Mountain Roll have no problem with the lane or anything. I believe in you. Have you ever had to deal with theft? I've been forced to buy a new helmet unexpectedly. Oh no. I've never had anybody steal a helmet before. I know Megan Stark had a helmet stolen in Milwaukee recently. At a Goodwill of all places. But nobody's stolen my helmet before. I have had like little things stolen off my bike in national parks, That's the only place I've ever had anything stolen off my bike. And I was in Yellowstone and somebody snatched one of my cheapy tripods off of the bike because it was just like kind of pushed into some netting. So it was easy to grab, you know. Somebody stole my lens cap and stuff in Glacier National Park. Didn't realize that one until later. I just thought that I lost it. But yeah, I think that's it. Mainly the tripod one sticks out to me. I stopped at the little one of the gas stations in Yellowstone National Park to go get a snack, and I went in and came out in like 5 minutes, and the tripod was gone. So most of my kind of feelings about like safety on the bike is that I try to like park away from other people, so they have to like go a ways to get to my bike. And I also make sure that just about everything that I pack on the bike is packed away into those bags, because the Wolfman luggage bags, if you don't know anything about motorcycles or that kind of stuff, they look kind of intimidating. Nobody's going to sit there and fiddle with them to figure out how to open them to get something, to risk you coming back to them and seeing you trying to take something off of your bike. If I'm gonna be into a restaurant or something and I don't have direct eyes on my bike and I'm gonna be in there for a little while, I will take my tank bag off the bike because that has all of my camera equipment in it. Yeah. But other than that, I've never had anybody take anything big off the bike. I've never lost a camera or anything, knock on wood. But I don't like park and go hiking or anything like that. When I stop for the hotel at night, I take just about everything into the hotel with me because I have soft bags. But, you know, I think even if I had hard bags and they could lock, I would still do that. Hi, Scooter. Started a YouTube channel a few weeks ago under your inspiration, Tim, and now I'm planning a cross country on a BMW. That's super awesome. I hope your trip goes super well. One of these days I'll make it to remember. I hope you do, Jeff. Can you do another camp cooking video? Yes, Sparky, that is actually on my in my plans for this year, especially this first half of the year. I'm in the next 2.5 months, there will be a handful of camp cooking videos, including like how I set up my camp cooking kitchen to be as versatile as I can make it, so I can make meals on the road, and then a couple of recipe videos. 10, 11, how about 8 p.m. or 9 p.m.? I don't know what that was. Literally watching this from Narrabeen Beach on a 32-degree day on the east coast of Australia. That's so cool. Received my 2021 Do the Thing calendar recently. Excellent. Oh, that's awesome. I love seeing everybody getting their calendars. It's so cool. Now any ideas about what to do with all the art from the 20. I'm gonna start motovlogging soon. Please recommend a mirrorless camera. Do I have it here? Ugh. This is the A5100. It's the camera that I filmed the whole of the pilgrimage on. It's got a flip-up screen like this. The mic is okay as long as you're holding it like this. If you're any farther away from the camera, like do not like only use the in-house mic. Use like an external mic with like a voice recorder or something, and then just match up the sound and editing. But the A5100 is a great camera. I think they're like $500 right now. There's a great entry-level camera. If you have a little bit more budget, the A6400 I think is a fantastic camera. It still has the flip out screen. Can't quite remember. And I think that one has the ability for you to put an external mic on it, so you could stand a little bit farther away from the camera and talk to it. But yeah, the A5100 Sony is what I filmed the pilgrimage on. And just about all of my videos up until like 2018, I want to say, is when I got the A7R2, because I broke the LCD screen on this one. And you can see I did a bit of a bodged job recently and try and replace the LCD screen, and there's just like packing tape over it. But hey, it works. But yeah, if you're going to spend the money to get a real camera that's not just like a GoPro or an action camera to start a channel, I recommend getting a mirrorless camera and one that you can change the lenses on, That way you can kind of like grow and like invest in new lenses as you get the budget to. Hi. Gravel, no front brake at all. I loved all of your episodes on the cross country loop. Need some advice on how in the heck did you find cheap motels on the fly? I wouldn't call them cheap. Most of the hotels that I stayed at, I booked the day that I stayed in them. So I used Google Maps, and you can adjust on Google Maps the price range that you're looking for, and I just tried to find ones that were about the $100 mark. In the Midwest, though, like it was way easier to find cheaper hotels. I think the cheapest hotel I stayed in was like $64 or something like that. I'm not quite sure. Google hotels.com. I'm sure there's other like apps and that kind of stuff to find super cheap hotels. I was just, I just searched on Google. I think the most expensive place I stayed at, it still ended up being like $130 or something like that. I don't think I paid more than that on the trip. When does the Magpie edition of the Wolfman bag come out? That I don't know. That may not be a thing that happens. I don't know. One thing I can advise when negotiating gravel is get used to trusting your clutch. Using your clutch to decelerate and rolling off the throttle slowly is good. Meanwhile, do not squeeze your clutch when on gravel, no matter what. I don't know about that. I guess we all have our own techniques. Are you doing any long trips this year? I think I talked about that. Idaho BDR is probably going to be the longest one, besides going to Montana and back. Which camping app is best doing East Coast BDR starting in March? I can't speak to finding camping on the East Coast. I had a hard time, but like I feel like using a bunch of different apps is a good plan because like some apps have some sites and some apps don't. So like if there is, I do have a video about like route planning and that kind of stuff. It's in like the How I Plan a Motorcycle Trip series. I think research, I list a bunch of apps and websites that I use to try to find camping. I also have a whole video dedicated to finding free camping. So that would be primo to watch. Instead of me trying to think off the top of my head. Rode a service road up north for at least 14 miles on my Sporty at night this summer. Yes! Wait, you're a beast. You're so cool. Pete, have you upgraded the front sprocket from a 15th sprocket to a 16th? Big improvement for lowering RPMs. It's true. I have not upgraded the front sprocket. I've stuck with the 15 tooth because I spend so much time on pavement. It's just like it's not worth the improved. Well, let me backtrack a little bit because I can't remember which way it is. One way you improve your RPMs when you're going on the freeway, but the other way you improve having the taller first gear on dirt. I think it's the other. I think if you go 14 on the front, you have a taller first gear or something like that. I'm just I haven't done either way. I find it's perfectly fine the way it is. I don't want to make the first gear any taller or shorter than it is because I do so much of like both, like dirt and on the slab hauling. And I'm very accustomed to the bike the way that it runs right now. I'm also kind of worried that if I screw with that, then my whole feel for the bike will be out of whack. I bought a 2014 Tiger 800XE. Jason, that's awesome. Been learning by fixing everything myself. That's a fantastic way to do it. Perry, just hello. Would you ever host a meetup? Maybe. Probably not right now. Maybe once like gatherings like that are safe again. Yeah. maybe in the future, possibly. I'm also like, it's one thing to have you all guys here like on the live stream, which is super cool, but I like how whether or not that like will work if I go to a single place, like how many people would actually show up, I don't know. Valcro super chat that I missed. Hey squirrel, wait, what? Thank you for the super chat, Valcro. Where would we like to go abroad for a moto adventure? China. Mongolia. China. Australia. Australia would be super cool. Last time I let a Honda dealer replace my rear bearing, they installed it backwards. Oh my god, that's terrifying. On the pilgrimage, why did you switch from the Shadow to Lazarus? Because Lazarus was in Montana. I had let me backtrack a little bit. So I had the Honda Shadow in Portland with me, and Lazarus was in Montana. And I had given it to one of my brothers to try to clean carbs because I was doing a bunch of other things and I wasn't getting it to it, and one of my brothers said that he would fix them. So I gave it to him, and it was sitting in Montana for about a year before the pilgrimage happened, waiting for this one of my brothers to address the carbs, and he never did. So I my intention was just to ride the Shadow from Portland to Montana and just like get ready and start the pilgrimage. But then one of my lovely subscribers, like back then when I had like 0 subscribers, one of my lovely subscribers bought me the ticket to Motos in Moab so that I could go. So then it became like a whole extra leg that wasn't really planned to go from Portland down to Moab and then up to Montana. And it just made more sense for me to just go with the bike that I had from Portland down to Moab and then get to Montana and then do all the work on Lazarus to get her running and then do the rest of the trip the way that I had planned it. And I switched to Lazarus, like the whole point of the pilgrimage was trying to get back to my roots. And at that point, I felt so much more connected to Lazarus than I did to the Shadow. Because Lazarus was my first bike and she was really important to me. She's the bike that I learned like how to work on, and I knew that if anything happened, I would know how to fix it, or at least I would be able to fix it. I would be able to work out how to fix it, and I did. And she broke down quite a few times. But I wouldn't go back and do it any other way. Even with all of the breakdowns and all that kind of stuff, I met so many incredible people that I wouldn't have met otherwise. And it definitely reinstilled my faith in humanity, and I really needed it at that point in time, having just quit my job at the tattoo shop. And if you didn't watch like how I quit my job to live on the road video, like I had a really abusive mentor at that point, like mentally abusive, and it just convinced me that I wasn't worth anything. So the pilgrimage was really like my way of regrounding myself and reinstilling my faith in myself and also in the people around me. Yeah, that was a really long-winded answer. I'm sorry. Gotta run. Bye, Moto Blonde. Thank you for being here. I'm super late to talking to answer. I'm super behind. What time of year do you find best for Oregon? June. June is still kind of cold, but July and August. I feel like July and August is really good at a lot of places in the Pacific Northwest. I recommend checking out the Guinness World Record poker run from Florida to Sturgis. Probably not going to happen since Rocky Mountain Roll is the first weekend of August, Toby. How did you find cheap motels on the fly on the cross country? I think that I just talked about that. People that steal off the bike suck. This is true. This is very true. I know about Black Biker. I'm not a fan. That's not how I roll. What is your strategy for taking short hikes away from your bike? I don't do that, so I don't really have a strategy for it. I'm sorry. Tim does that, but he has hard bags. Yeah, I don't do that. When I'm on long trips like that, if I'm gonna leave the bike for any long period of time, it's probably because like I'm parked up at somebody else's house and it's safe in a garage somewhere, or I stay at a hotel, so all my luggage is in the hotel room, and I can take the bike someplace and park it for a minute and not worry about everything that's on my bike. But for the most part, when I'm on the road, the bike doesn't leave like my line of sight most of the time. I would love to do the Idaho BDR. I'm definitely doing the Mavder this year. Oh, that's exciting. Where'd the phrase "do the thing" come from? I can't get it out of my head. I the "do the thing" really is just like if you watched Avatar, not the last Airbender, but Korra like Avatar. There's a kind of Tony Stark character, and he tells his assistant like to do the thing, Julie, all the time, and that was like my password on my phone for a while, like the audio password, like do the thing, Julie, and then my phone would talk to me. And so when I started trying to figure out a way to introduce myself in videos, like I was like, well, I do motorcycle vlogs and I do some how-tos, I guess, but for the most part, I just like I want to make content that makes other people want to get out and do the thing. And it works as like a kind of general statement, because getting out and doing the thing could mean a whole lot of things. It could mean like getting out and motorcycle camping, and it could also mean just like getting on a really long road trip, and or it could also just mean like doing a like 50 to 100 mile day trip, and getting outside of your comfort zone. Yeah, it just worked out. That's one reason I think about Harley. People are too afraid that the biker will kick their butt. I love the idea of the BDR. It scares me though. I want to do the Wobder, at least part of it this summer, Jason. I think like definitely at least do a section. I hope that your fear of the BDR has nothing to do with my failure on the California BDR, because that was just hella skewed. I have done sections of Idaho BDR already, like the Magruder and Lolo Motorway are part of Idaho BDR, so I kind of already have an idea of like what it's gonna be like, and I mean like only 2 sections, but it seems to be a little bit more up my alley than the California BDR was. Been going to rallies for 20 years, never had problems with theft, actually never had any people problems at all. That's awesome. That's super great. I put my calendar up and will pop on a sticker once it warms up here in Wisconsin. That's awesome. Howdy from Sparks, Nevada. Hi, Jesse. Thank you for inspiring many people to get out and do the thing. Oh, thank you. Hi, Derek. Still not 100% yet, but I appreciate that. Thank you. Your t-shirts were a hit for Xmas presents. Oh, that's so awesome. Thanks, Brad. Have you thought about a 360 camera like the Insta 360? People like Ride to Food can pull off 360 cameras really well. It's not my style. Kayak is a good search engine for hotels. Yeah. Gotta hit the... Bye, Mike. Thanks for being here. Hello. Are you holding the camp out in Montana this year? If so, what are the dates? Hi. So Rocky Mountain Roll is happening this year. Knock on wood, barring anything that would make us have to stop. It is the first weekend of August. I don't know the dates off my top of my head. I think it's like 6th or the 9th. But yeah, if you check, if you go to asthemagpieflies.com, there's a tab for Rocky Mountain Roll at the top. If you click that, it's got all the information there, and tickets. Link for tickets. Bye, Mr. and Mrs. Two-Wheeler. It's lovely to see you. Yay. A64 is the one that you were considering. Awesome. I'm also planning to buy a full new set of Wolfman bags. Awesome. That's so rad. Bye, yeah, thank you for being here, Michael. You're awesome. Hi from Australia. Hi. When changing sprockets that you gain on street, you lose on dirt, or vice versa. Exactly. I just stick with the one that I have. Hi. Oh, good. Everybody fixed it. Planning on a run across states this spring, starting in Long Beach, Washington. That's awesome, Willows. I hope that you have a wonderful trip. Come visit us in New York and Vermont post-COVID. I hope to get back out to the East Coast. Hopefully, when traveling isn't such a experience. That sounded weird. I don't know. You guys know what I mean. I'm a bit late, but I sure hope you're feeling it. Hi, Derek. You come to Australia, lots of awesome tracks to explore for motorbikes. Yes, it's on the bucket list for sure. There's still a lot of the US that I still need to see though. Hello from England. What camera do you use and do you have problems with the batteries? Hi, Stephen. I will be next week's video is all about all of my camera equipment and how I make videos. I use the A7R2, the Sony A5100, GoPro Hero 7. I do have the GoPro Hero 5 right now. I want to upgrade that to another 7 now that the price has dropped. And then I have the DJI Mavic Air. And I carry lots and lots of batteries for the Sony cameras because I don't actually use my GoPro as much as other people do, I think. So I can go like 2 days on one battery on the GoPro, but I will probably go, if I'm filming a lot, I go through like 3 batteries or 4 batteries a day on my Sony cameras. If I could ride overseas, it would be New Zealand. That would be beautiful. Heaps of good videos on other people's adventures, bike travels, so much to see and do. For real! There's so much good content on YouTube right now. It's fantastic. I find the carburetors weird and confusing and frustrating, so I removed them and the bike literally hasn't run since. Yeah, that would happen. My scooters keep me grounded. I'm happiest when I am riding. Yeah. I appreciate long-winded answers. Oh, good. That's what you can expect from me. Out of all the years riding and camping, the only thing I've had stolen off my bike was a portable toilet. I have so many questions, James. I wish I could do the BDR rides, but I do not have the physical ability to do it. I have to stay on the slab and the easy Forest Service roads for my riding. I feel like Falcro, you should like try the I think it's the Madger. It's like the easiest BDR out there, and it's like I feel like you would enjoy it, or at least give it a try. There's a lot of BDRs that kind of get really technical, but I feel like there's always ways to kind of work around the technical sections. If you hit them, then you can backtrack and hit some slab and go around that section or something. I feel like so much of the BDRs is also kind of like the tack. So much of it is just what you make of it, really. Been listening while making dinner. Thanks, Bob. Homemade 4-cheese ravioli and meatballs. Oh my god. Oh, that sounds so good. How did you come up with As the Magpie Flies? From the phrase as the crow flies, like one point to another. But I love magpies. Growing up, we always had magpies all over the property in Montana, and they're just beautiful birds. And if you've ever watched a magpie fly around, it's never from one point to another. They're all over the place. They go like here, there, and it just seems pretty appropriate. I do it like the way that I do most things. Like I wrote down a bunch of different ideas, and As the Magpie Flies just worked the best for me. It is kind of a mouthful, that's for sure. And so there's definitely a lot of people when they talk about my channel, there's like the magpie lady. I'm like, that's cool. I'm the magpie lady. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Barbecue Buccaneer, I've enjoyed watching your adventures, and I think you are an inspiration to many others. Thank you. I really appreciate that, you guys. You guys are so nice to me. Excited for another camera vid. I have the cameras, but making them work effectively for a motovlog is an art and a science. That's for sure. Yeah. I'm excited for you guys to see the video. It's definitely like I wish that I was feeling a little bit better so I could do everything that I wanted to do to that video, but it'll work for right now. And in the future, I'll make another one and make it better because my kit's always changing. David Thompson, thank you for the Snapchat. Thank you. Big loves. Thank you so much. Really appreciate all your information. I'm looking to do my own cross country beginning the 14th of May. Deborah. Oh, that's so exciting. I hope that your trip is awesome, Deborah. I hope that you enjoy it. Have you talked to Tim recently? Brian, check the 40 Times Around Facebook group, would ya? Tim's posted in there. I'd be interested in a video on what got you into motovlogging. That one's easy. I am terrible at keeping a journal. I've tried a lot over the years, but I just can't rely on my life. And when I decided to do the pilgrimage, I knew that I wanted to document it so that I could remember it, because I didn't think that I would be able to get a chance to do anything like that ever again. I thought that was my one go in a big long motorcycle trip like that. Obviously that has changed, but so after a combination of things, I was inspired by On Her Bike. Back then, like most of the videos that I had watched of hers were like those first couple of videos that she did doing the tour of Australia on her BMW, and how simple she kind of made making motorcycle videos look, and also like the kind of video diary style that they did in Long Way Round. I feel weird saying that. Joey, thank you for the super chat. You guys are lovely. Thank you. But yeah, it was mostly, I started the vlog specifically just for the pilgrimage. I didn't think that I was going to keep doing it. I didn't even think anybody would watch it. I kept the video diary for myself. I came back and edited them so that my family could kind of experience what I experienced on the road, and so that I could have those videos later to look back on and kind of relive my experience. And then people started watching them. And after I finished the pilgrimage, people were like, well, when's the next video? I was like, what? And it kind of snowballed, and here we are. I'm not brown nosing. Honest, I just got Tim's book this week. I love your work, and I agree. Thank you, Donnie. Fine dining over here. Double cheeseburger and chicken nuggets. That's awesome. We have much bigger magpies in Australia, and they are a pest. Plus, they swoop. Yes, I know about that. I'm glad that our magpies are not that aggressive. Plus, there's a football team here named the Magpies. I did not know that. Yeah, the magpies in the U.S. are a lot prettier. That sounds weird to say, but like they're like the black parts of the magpie, and at least the ones that we have in Montana, are, when the sun hits it, they're like a beautiful like green and purple, and yeah, it's just super cool. How often are you recognized on the road? Like not at all, unless like I seek out people to stay with that already know me. Yeah, it just didn't happen at all. If I go to motorcycling events, then people recognize me, but not a ton. Like when I went to Babes Are Out, like maybe like 10 people knew who I was. That was it. Pete, towards the GoPro Hero 7 Black. Thank you, Pete. Thank you for the Snapchat. I really appreciate it. Donnie, thank you for the Snapchat. Thank you. Oh, you guys are so lovely. Thank you. I just got in. You're in Portland today? Yes, I'm in Portland. Sorry, my brain skipped there for a second. Any travel adventure books that have inspired you? Oh my God, so many, Steve. I do have a video on my channel about all my favorite motorcycle books, and most of those are adventure motorcycling books. Unless you're just talking about general travel adventure books and not motorcycle specific. In that case, Alistair Humphreys has a book, I think, that he wrote, A Bicycle Around the World, and that's a general travel adventure book that I loved so much. Alistair Humphreys is such a good writer. I loved, that book was so good. But Jupiter's Travels by Ted Simon, Lone Rider by Elspeth Beard is a wonderful book. Oh my gosh. Oh god, there's so many. They're all in the video. I know that some people find Ted Simon's writing a little bit dense, but I enjoy Jupiter's Travels. I have reread that book like 6 times, and I have the Audible book too, so that I can listen to it. Um, yeah, yeah. So if you check my channel for my favorite motorcycle books video, down in the description, there's a link to a blog post on my website of all my favorite motorcycle books, and I update that list on that blog post periodically with new books that I have read that I really enjoyed. Lowest Price is a bunch of adventure motorcycling books that are really good too. Just there's so many. Good night, Roy. Thank you for being here. I've used some lessons learned from your channel as a plan for my 22 National Park ride during the month of July. Oh, that's awesome. That's so exciting. 16-day trip plan for Rocky Mountain Roll, dead smack in the middle. Oh, I'm sorry. Jim, hopefully next year it'll work out. I think we should do a dual live stream after next summer's cross-country road trips, Toby. Yes. We haven't even talked about it. Thanks, Whit. Yeah, Jupiter's Travels for sure. That's an amazing take. Definitely gives me a great reason to get more serious about documenting my experiences, not just for YouTube. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Have you read The Investment Biker by Jim Rogers? No, but it's on my TBR, my to-be read list. I have so many books on that list. Oh my god, Graham Fields also put out a new book recently. Graham Fields' books are really good too. I think like one of them is called In Search of Greener Pastures or something like that. So In Search of Greener Grass. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's on my blog post. Let's see. I got a few of your postcards. Loved them, and so did the people I gave them to. Looked over your other merchandise. Would love if you would do a waterfowl, any paintings or with a waterfowl. Interesting, Paul. Thanks for the suggestion. Thank you for the support in my Etsy shop too. That's super awesome. Chronicles of a Motorcycle Gypsy. Yes. With Tiffany Burkett, I believe is her name. She's a wonderful writer too. She has like the Chronicles of a Motorcycle Gypsy where she does the US tour, and then she also has one where she goes to Mexico, which is awesome. Have I read Zen and the Art of Yes, I have read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. It took me a really long time to get through it. I did it. Don't come for me, but I did not enjoy it. I'm more into like the travel journal style adventure motorcycle books. That's what I enjoy, where you get to feel like you're there with them and experiencing the cool things and just going through it. Great live stream. Bye. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, Tiffany Burkett. Yes. Misunderstood. I planned Rocky Mountain Roll in the middle of it. Okay, good. Oh, good, Jim. I'm so glad you'll be there. That's good. Oh, good. Last motorcycle adventure book I read was The Payment. Do you get anxiety from changing out a piece of gear for something new, or is it just me? It depends on the piece of gear. The tent I was a little bit nervous about, but after I did the test run, that was gone. I like switching out like big pieces, like stuff that's going to very drastically affect my experience of the trip, like tents, sleeping bags, sleeping pads, like that, the big pieces like that stuff stresses me out because I'm worried that like if I get out there and I do my test run and it doesn't work out, then I'm gonna have to like pack up or stick it out and freeze my butt off or something like that because I'm such a cold sleeper. I'm always worried about being cold or like getting my stuff wet or anything like that. But it's always been okay. I've never had like a really drastic terrible thing happen when I switched out a piece of gear. Most of the time, it's just like when I forget stuff. Like one time I forgot a spoon, so I had to eat like with my spatula at one point. One time I forgot lighter and matches, which is I don't know how I did that, which is why I like my kitchen equipment pretty much all stays together now. But yeah, one of my favorite episodes of the pilgrimage was your arrival at the. I think you're talking about Flight of the Magpie, Scooter. My arrival at the Atlantic Ocean. The pilgrimage is my trip where I did a loop of Montana on Lazarus, and that was in 2016. But yeah, you're talking about Flight of the Magpie. And any suggestions for cool places to stop on my cross country? I'm in Arizona now, and formerly from New York. Hit as many national parks as you can. If you Google like what are the best state parks, a lot of state parks are hidden gems and are really beautiful, and very worth stopping at. Yeah, my like favorite places on the last trip was like the stopping at the Badlands was super cool. Camping outside of Bozeman was beautiful. West Virginia was gorgeous. I really want to go back to West Virginia. Like no place in particular, but the roads were super fun to ride, and I'd really like to go back and experience them again, not in the rain. I have a whole lot, heaps of places in Colorado that I really want to go back to because I couldn't because they were closed for COVID or something like that. Garden of the Gods outside of Colorado Springs was gorgeous, and it's free. Yeah. Bye, Fistful of Goldwing. Dad's going to bed. Good night, Dad. Good night, Dad. Old people have to go to bed. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. What different brands of bikes have you ridden? What is your favorite and why? Lazarus is a Suzuki. My moped is a Batavis. I owned the Triumph Tiger. I own 3 Hondas. And I've ridden a lot of Triumphs. I've ridden a lot of Harleys because I worked at the Harley Davidson dealership. I have ridden a gold, like one of the 2014 Gold Wings. I can't quite remember. I love Lazarus, and I've ridden my grandpa's like older Suzuki Cavalcade, which is like the Suzuki Goldwing. Honda is definitely my favorite. Reliability, the end, like in my experience, like all the Hondas that I've ridden, they're super smooth. I've never been rattled by a Honda. I've ridden KTM, I've ridden Husky dirt bikes, KTM dirt bikes, and Huskies are really smooth too. If I was gonna get like a dirt bike and I can get whatever dirt bike I want, it would probably be a Husky. White KTMs, as they say. Falcro, thank you for the super chat. The more you ride, the more places you will want to go. It is just simple math. It's so true. My Google Maps is just like covered in pins. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Anyway, answer to your question was Hondas because they're reliable and they're smooth and they do everything that I ask of them. You did well, pulled victory from the jaws of defeat and kept going with sound problems. You made it fun all the while. Thank you, Scott. I really appreciate it. Have you ridden or have plans to ride down into Southeast, such as Mojave and Joshua Tree? Steve, I have ridden in the Mojave. If you haven't watched the Falling Short series, when we tried to ride the Cabder, we did ride through the Mojave National Preserve. I have been to Joshua Tree in 2017 or 2018. I went to Babes Are Out like one of the last years that it was in Joshua Tree. Year before the last year that it was in Joshua Tree. So I have been to Joshua Tree, been all over down there. I've also been in a lot of places in California, rode down California, drove down California, all those things. I've also been to Baja. Yeah. I've been up since 4 a.m. for work, but I wanted to go to bed now. Okay, bye, Petty Nerd. I'll respond to your messages soon. Okay, we'll get that worked out. Good night from West Virginia. The wife is going to watch some of your videos now. Awesome. Fantastic. Zen was goodish. The road was influenced me. The road was what influenced me to travel. Kerouac has a way of romanticizing hitchhiking. That's for sure. I don't know if I've read the Road. I've read a few of Kerouac's other books, so maybe I need to try that one. How about Flight of the Chocolate Pie? The New River Gorge in West Virginia is excellent. Yes, it sounds beautiful. My wife doesn't really like long riding trips on her Ducati Monster. How can I convince her to try something more comfy and going on a trip with me? Oh, she doesn't. Okay, so if she's comfortable with it, you can convince her to go to like a demo day at a dealership, and try riding a few of the bikes at the demo day. A lot of dealerships do demo days, and they'll like take out a big selection of bikes from the inventory, and like you have to sign a waiver and stuff to do the thing. Depending on the dealership, some just like you can go in there and be like, "Can I test ride that?" and they'll like let you do it, and some don't. So demo days are a really good idea to like go and test ride bikes. And just try to find a dealership that has like a couple of bikes that you'll be able to find for rent at other places. Like you don't have to just rent from like Eagle Rider and those kind of places. Like there's apps like Twisted Road and that kind of stuff where you can rent bikes from owners, and that kind of stuff. But yeah, my tips for you is to do demo days so that she can try out other bikes and like see how more comfortable they would be. And then like look at apps like Twisted Road and other apps like that, to find like rentals that you would able to get for like a day or two. Maybe test it out, like rent a bike that would be more comfortable for her on a longer ride for like a day or two, and like do an overnight or something, and then maybe work her up to it. When you're camping in the wild, are you scared of big animals being curious and feeling around with teeth and claws? I'm in Australia, and it's the small things that get you. I grew up, my best answer for this question is that I grew up in Montana. So I feel like I don't have that fear of like big wild animals that a lot of people who grow up in urban areas maybe do. Because I used to like go camping not camping, but I used to go hunting with my dad a lot, and we had a lot of encounters. Like you see bears, and black bears go through our property quite often, and we encountered like baby cougars. Thankfully, we were in a truck, so we watched the baby cougars run across the road, and the mama show up and go across and that kind of stuff. But a lot of growing up in a rural area like that, you learn more about the animal and how you should pack your stuff and how you should treat your food, like making sure that if you're in bear country, you hang your food properly, or you camp in a designated place that has bear boxes to put your food away, or anything with a scent. Knowledge is power. That's my biggest takeaway there, is knowledge is power. The more that you know about those animals, the more that you know about how you need to treat your food and what to do to set up your campsite to be the safest, like the less you're going to worry about it. That's my experience anyway. Glad you mentioned West Virginia. I ride up from North Carolina as much as I can. It's so pretty. Hi, Moto Dans. Oh, we're an hour and 30 minutes. We should start wrapping this up soon. Thank you. Hondas do nothing great, but everything well. You know, they're reliable and they do what I ask of them. That's what matters. What's your current mileage on the CB500x? Oh my god, I don't remember. I think I stopped in Colorado and I celebrated rolling over. I want to say, was it 20,000 or 30,000 miles? I don't know at this point. I think it was 20,000 miles. Maybe. I can't remember. They're all mine, and that's what's exciting about it. I was going to buy a Street Glide just for long rides. What do you think about those? The Africa Twin and off-road bikes are way too tall. I am 5'4". Blue Ghost, I think that you should watch Jocelyn Snow. She has lots of great videos about being a short rider and riding taller bikes. Um, I learned like while working at the dealership that like being short is an excuse. You can ride whatever bike you want. You just have to learn how to handle it and figure out where the balancing point is and learn to put one foot down. The Tiger was too tall for me, and we did put a lowering link on it, but we only lowered it like maybe a quarter of an inch or something so that I could tiptoe both sides off-road if I needed to. But I didn't sacrifice a whole lot of ground clearance in the process. And anyway, I've only ridden street glide for like day trips, so I wouldn't have experience doing like anything super long on it, but they are really comfortable bikes. I like the fixed fairing. I think that's on the road glide though, because it takes so much more. It takes a lot of the weight off of the forks. And even though I like the way the street glide looks better, I think the road glide handled better for me personally because there's so much less weight on the forks. All subjective. All subjective. After a 4,000-mile ride on a Suzuki DR650, I bought an Africa Twin. I think Chris and Nathan for Love Knobs would agree with you, except they got KTMs. I saw you did about 360 or so miles a day. Do you think that's doable on a continuous basis, or did it about kill you? Oh no, 360 is very doable. The bigger day, like 500 and 700-mile days, those are the ones that like are really just like one-offers for me. The 360 is very comfortable for me, but everybody's going to be different, you know? When I first started riding on the pilgrimage, like I maxed 170 miles a day and I was so tired by the end of it, but I had no windshield and it was on Lazarus and she had no rear suspension. So it's all very specific to the person, the bike that you're riding, you know, and what your tolerance is. I always kind of try to do shorter days at the beginning of a trip because I know that like as I go, like my endurance will build up as I go. That kind of stuff. I think you told us 30K on the video. Okay. I thought so, but I don't want to say and be wrong. You are the epitome of what Mesa says mileage ridden trumps years riding. You are. I'm awesome. Thank you, Toby. Scott, thank you, man. It's been fun. I hope you're feeling better soon. Thank you, Scott. I really appreciate that. Thank you again. Hope for the inspiration and great content. Headed out to hang out with my oldest son who rides a Honda Shadow. Oh, that's awesome. Yay. Bye, Scooter. Any advice to someone who gets really anxious when entering dirt and gravel roads, especially when not expecting it? I feel like everybody, like when you go from pavement to dirt and you weren't like ready, I think everybody puckers a little bit. Paul, thank you for the super chat. You're so awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I think trying to find like just general like anxiety relief techniques, like figuring out like what things to say to yourself when you start to feel anxious and like focusing on your breathing and that kind of stuff. The Headspace app has like a lot of really wonderful like short meditations that really helped me from this, like when I did the Babes Are Out trip in 2019, and between that and like all of my trips in 2020, I did a lot of like of the meditation exercises on the Headspace app, and that really helped me have the tools to manage my anxiety on the road for the flight of the Magpie when I did the trip across the US. That kind of stuff. Having tools to manage your anxiety when it happens really helps you get back to like a regular mindset and back to enjoying the ride again. I hope that's helpful at all. I think the Road Glide has a lower seat height. Totally depends on your comfort. Yeah. I worry more about people than I do wild animals when I'm motorcycle camping. Yeah, yeah, it's all personal preference, you know. And I tend to camp in a lot of places that don't have a ton of people. And when I do, I try to like if I'm gonna have close neighbors, I try to get to know them a little bit. So I know who's around me. Um, Unless I roll in super late, which happens a lot too. Chris, not sure whether the DR650 or the 690 are less comfortable for long days. Thanks, Chris. Badge clock out. Thanks for being here, Michael. Okay, one of the last questions, and then we're gonna clock out, you guys. As awesome as long trips are, do you ever wish someone was there to share the experience? From Captain Velveeta. Yes and no. It depends. I don't travel well with a lot of people. Like the first couple days are great and we get along fine, but then I start to just get in my own head about like, oh, they're waiting on me, or like I start to get kind of bitter about them being there and feeling like I can't do all the things that I want to do because they're there and we will have to compromise and blah 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 blah. I just travel better by myself. Traveling with my brother was super awesome and is probably the closest thing that I've ever experienced to like traveling by myself, because my brother is so chill. Like, and like he also is a photographer, so I know like all my stops that I take to film and do all that kind of stuff like isn't gonna bother him. It was really weird to like talk to the camera in front of him, and that took a minute for me to get used to, but that was all in my head, not because he was doing anything. Yeah. Traveling with Carl was super cool. Like when I did the counter with like Carl and Matt, that was great. I was really happy to have them there to get through those obstacles and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to do the Idaho BDR with like 3 other people, so we'll see how I feel by the end of it. But they're also people that I really enjoy being around, so that's cool. I think a lot of my expectations around group riding is super skewed because of like I'm still all bitter about the Baja trip, and like that huge group just wasn't a good time. I think a lot of the times when I'm traveling and I'll be like, oh, it'd be nice to have somebody here, and then my brain is like, except it wouldn't. Yeah. Thank you much for sharing your adventures. Thank you, Lisa, for watching them. I really appreciate it. We are pretty new to ADV, and you have inspired us to travel more this year. Oh, that's awesome. What is the most challenging surface terrain you've ridden on? Sand. Period. Sand. What mental techniques did you use to overcome it? Just getting through one little bit at a time. Like, okay, I'm here. I'm going to make it to that tree. Oh, I'm to the tree. I'm going to make it to that next rock. I'm to the rock. Like, just like get through it. Bye, Bumbling Fool. Group riding can be like herding cats. Yes, for sure. Have a great night. Bye, Toby. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to like before you leave. Thank you for sharing your videos. Thank you, Kevin. I'm learning a lot about how to apply my backpacking skills to the moto realm. Awesome. Yay. Thank you. Thank you, Joey. I will do my best. I'm fingers crossed. I have another follow-up with the doctor soon, so here's hoping. Would I buy a Harley Davidson? I'm not gonna buy any bike anytime soon. So, yeah, I have the Honda Shadow, and I'm trying to live by that rule, like of only like getting a bike that fills a niche that my other bikes don't fill right now. So my Honda Shadow fills like all of my cruiser needs right at the moment. My CB500x is my adventure bike. I feel like the big gap in my garage is a dirt bike and maybe a sport bike, like a Thruxton. I love Thruxtons, are so pretty and fun to ride. Anyway, okay, guys, we're wrapping this up. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Jess. Oh, you're so oh, thank you guys. Love your 500. I ride a 300 and I'm wanting the 500. Awesome. Thank you for the super chat, Blue Ghost. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. I just checked your Redbubble and Etsy. You're an artist too. Yes, I am an illustrator. I have a bachelor's degree in fine arts. Thanks, Kay. Okay. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. we'll be doing, my goal for 2021 is to do a live stream about once a month. Hopefully the next one that we do will have less technical issues. All right, you guys. I love you. I'll see you guys later. Check out the video next Friday of all of my camera gear and how I make videos. And in the meantime, guys, I'll see you later.